Come join Rosie and me as we cruise on the Sapphire Princess on a 7-night West Coast wine cruise. Our cruise included an overnight stop in San Francisco, followed by additional ports of Santa Barbara, Catalina, San Diego, and Ensenada, Mexico, before returning to the port of Los Angeles. On Friday morning, October 12th, we flew from Milwaukee to Los Angeles on Southwest Airlines, where your bags fly for free. From LAX, we used Super Shuttle transportation to take us to San Pedro, California, and our hotel, the Crown Plaza. We dropped our luggage off in the room, and Rosie and I headed out to a boutique wine store off the Vine for our wine supplies to take on the ship. With our wine supplies procured and safely stored in the room, Rosie and I headed out again to take the trolley to the seaport. San Pedro is home to the big red cars. The Port of Los Angeles waterfront red car line is a 1.5 mile long vintage trolley line connecting San Pedro's World Cruise Center with other attractions along the waterfront. As we approached the seaport, we could see a Holland America ship departing. The main attraction at the seaport when ships are not in port is the Fanfare Fountain. Rosie and I passed the symbol for multiculturalism as we walked along the waterfront back to the hotel. Next, we walked past the Battleship USS Iowa and the Fishing Industry Memorial. Next on our walk, one of the 16-inch cannons from the USS Iowa. The last memorial on our walk is for the American Merchant Marine veterans. Behind the Merchant Marine Memorial is the largest maritime museum in California. Sunrise, 6:30 a.m., Saturday, October 13th. The Sapphire Princess is coming into port. Today, we start our cruise. The Sapphire Princess was built in 2004 and refurbished in 2012. She is 116,000 tons and carries 2,670 passengers. There are 377 inside cabins and 960 outside cabins. 750 of those have balconies. The Sapphire Princess has 5 pools that are strategically located throughout the ship. All of the pools are filled with fresh water. The ship features a 3-story atrium, many bars including the Wheelhouse Bar and Skywalker's Bar, 2 specialty restaurants including Sabatini's, a 2-story theater, and a large casino. Cabin 516. As you open the door, you have a large walk-in closet and a bathroom immediately on your left-hand side. The bathroom has a stand-up shower, a toilet, and a sink area with lots of storage. Two beds pushed together to form a queen king. Storage area, chair, desk, flat panel TV, and a large balcony. That's the beauty of the Carib deck. The balcony is twice as big. At 2 o'clock, we met other members from our cruise critic roll call at the Outrigger Bar. At 4 o'clock, we started sail away. Sunset was at 6:20. At 7 o'clock, we met other cruise critic members for a meal in Sabatini's. Sunday morning, October 13th. We're on our way to San Francisco. We're in the soup. At 10 o'clock, we met in the Skywalker Bar for a cruise critic get-together and a Yankee Swap gift exchange. Punky ran our Yankee Swap gift exchange. In a Yankee Swap gift exchange, you can choose to open a gift, or you can steal a gift that's already been opened by somebody else. Yankee Swap. Mary Ann opens the gift. Paul steals the gift. Poor Mary Ann. She opens another gift, and Eric steals the gift. Punky opens the last gift. Thank you, Punky, for running an exciting Yankee Swap. It's noon, and we're still in a dense fog as we pass the channel markers leading into San Francisco. At 12:15, in a very dense fog, we go under the Golden Gate Bridge. Just after clearing Alcatraz Island, the captain swings the ship, bow to the starboard, towards Pier 35. We look back, and we can see the top of the Golden Gate Bridge in the fog. At 12:53, the first mooring line was sent ashore, and by 1:30, Sapphire Princess was docked at her berth. At 2:30, we boarded a bus for a wine tour and tasting in Sonoma County. Joining us were fellow cruise critic members, Kathy and Glenn. As we went over the Golden Gate Bridge, we saw San Francisco veiled in fog. After about an hour, we arrived in Sonoma wine country, and shortly after that, at the Sebastiani Winery. The Sebastiani Vineyards was started in 1902 and run by family members for many years. Today, it is part of the Foley family wines. Our wine tasting group consisted of 45 people, and we tasted 7 different wines. Our next stop was at the Gunlock Bunshoe Winery. For 6 generations, over 150 years, the family has farmed the vineyards. Today, they focus on making small lots of ultra-premium wines. We tasted 5 wines during our visit, and we found the estate vineyard Zinfandel to be superb. In fact, we purchased a bottle. On the way back to San Francisco, we stopped in downtown Sonoma for some ice cream. The view from our balcony that night was priceless. 6:30 a.m., Monday, October 15th. We're in the fog. Our shore excursion this morning is the 9:20 ferry to Alcatraz. Alcatraz is located in San Francisco Bay, 1.5 miles off the shore of San Francisco. Often referred to as the Rock, the small island was developed with facilities for a lighthouse, a military fortification, a military prison, and a federal prison from 1933 to 1963. Today, it is a national landmark. Our tour of Alcatraz starts as we walk past the main Barracks Building and the old guard tower, up the hill to the main prison. This is our lucky day. Ours is the first tour group of the day, and we're at the head of that group. As we walk up the hill to the prison, we pass the old officers' club, the guardhouse, and the electric shop. As we reach the prison, we are given headphones. The tour is guided with a recording that you hear over the headphones, and you go at the pace of the recording. Because I was lucky to be in the first group, there will be very few people in my photos. The tour is guided by 4 ex-inmates and 4 former correctional officers. Next, we enter D Block. Isolation in D Block, the treatment unit, was reserved for unusually dangerous or violent inmates. From D Block, we enter the library. Because they were physically confined, most prisoners sought mental escape through books. Literate convicts could read 75 to 100 books a year. In May of 1946, 6 inmates tried to escape by using a device to spread the bars on the gun gallery. During the incident, 2 inmates and 3 correctional guards were killed. 2 conspirators were later executed. Many inmates read, painted, or did drawings to pass the time and boredom. Next, we entered the administration wing. Prisoners were never allowed in this area. Here you see a typical guard's uniform. Just outside the door of the warden's office was the control room, the central nerve center for the entire prison. Also housed in the administration building was the warden's office. During the time that the prison was open, there were 4 wardens. Next is Michigan Avenue, the area where black prisoners were housed. During the time that the prison was open, black and white prisoners were segregated. In June of 1962, 3 escapees crawled through holes on the back wall of their cells that they had made with spoons that connected to a utility quarter. They scaled the utility quarter to the roof. None of the 3 was ever found. The dining hall was one of the most dangerous areas in the prison because all of the prisoners were in an open area all together. If there were going to be problems, this is where it usually happened. Alcatraz was closed in March of 1963. Our 2.5 hours on the Rock was unforgettable. At noon, Rosie and I had lunch with Paul and Dawn. We then went to the 14th deck to view Fisherman's Wharf and the Golden Gate Bridge. At 1 o'clock, Rosie and I hosted a sail-away party on our balcony. At 2:45, after an hour and 45-minute delay, sail-away from San Francisco began. Monday night was formal night. Some of us were more formal than others. Photos and video by Bill Raffel. Music by Kevin MacLeod. Creative Commons license.